Warning. For those of you who are easily offended by foreign accent syndrome, please return to your shelter now and turn off the lights. I thank you.
Hello, and welcome to Piece of the Week. It is so cold here in Queensland, I have lost my accent. I have lost my Australian accent, and I don't know if it will ever come back, because it is frozen off. I don't know. Hi, Siri! Hey, Siri! What temperature is it outside? See what I say to you? It is so cold. And yes, I know people in Antarctica have it much more hard than I do here. But for a Queenslander, it is like the frozen over. You know? So, please bear with me. Well, today's piece of the week deals with the moon. And why not? It is 50 years since we have been there. I have always wanted to go to the moon. I think about it all the time. I want to build a moon base up there and be able to go up there in the afternoon and look back down at Earth and not worry about these 3-day round trips that I used to have. Just go up for an afternoon in my speedy rocket and then go down there into my moon base and sit there and have a look back at the Earth in my sun lounge. It is what we should all be doing on our spare days off, because sometimes we need to not put all of our eggs into one basket and go to another body in the universe to spread our humanity, and hopefully we don't stuff it up. I heard horrible things that Coca-Cola were going to beam a great big giant banner of the Coca-Cola symbol on the side of the moon so it could be advertised. This is not good, and Pharaoh will not accept this happening. In fact, I will bring an armada of my friends from the planet and we will sort it out. This is the truth. So let it be written, so let it be done. Now, today's subject is going to be Khonshu, the moon god of ancient Egypt, who the ancient Egyptians referred to as La-di-da. Well, not quite that, just La, the traveler, the pathfinder, the defender of those who traveled at night. And that is what this is about, the Khonshu concept. He also marks the passing of time itself. Time, also shared by the moon's other manifestation in Thoth, or Duhuti, the ibis, the sacred ibis, whose crescent-shaped beak often harkens the crescent of the moon. And when the moon was in crescent and shining brightly, it was said the woman would become pregnant and be able to conceive, and the cows were fertile, and the very breath of the air was fresh and in your nostrils and beautiful for the evening, because there's nothing like the cool night air to breathe into and hope for a better tomorrow. Khonsu was the son, the holy son, part of a trinity of Thebes. He was the son of Amun, who we featured last week, and Mut, or Mut as some people say. They formed the Theban Trinity, the most holy Trinity. And in the Ramesside times, when the Ramesses ruled Thebes, they enhanced and embellished the temples of Khonsu most favorably, and today it is one of the most preserved temples in the complex.
The temple complex of Karnak. Now here we see a picture of Khonsu in his traditional form, with the side lock of youth, a menat necklace around his neck associated with the Hathor, goddess of love, Hathor, crook and flail. And this image here is a bit blurry. This was the one I took in the Cairo Museum, trying very much to get a photograph when they were saying, shush away the camera. Also, Khonshu can be shown as with a hawk or falcon head, and this is yet another confusion for some people. But traditionally, he wears the side lock of youth. But this statue, the one I will be sharing with you, is an unusual form showing a tripartite wig.
Now, let us have a look at the piece of Khonsu in the collection. It is only the one piece I'm going to show you of the Khonsu. No, I will show you two, plus a sauce. We will have a look at this sauce as well. Sauce. Thoth! Okay, where are you? I will find him. And here he is. Now, I can't see. Okay, now it is time to show you the Khonsu statue, also known as Khons. You know, that is Khons. K or C, I mean really it's it is. Now, this is him. He is in the seated position. He is holding the crook and the flail. Can you see him? I will give you a proper picture up here in the screen so you can see it from every delicious angle. He is very, very emaciated. So this is probably another sign that bronze was metered out carefully. Because the principal side for viewing is much more detailed than the back. See? There is still some good work in the headdress. You can see that there is a modis here where the moon disk would have been. And it is so sad it is not on there, you say. But the best news is, I have it in this hand here. It was broken when I bought it from the dealer. A lot of antiquities and statues are easily broken, and this one is no different. Just look at it. Such a shame. But we will have a look at this disc, which has an intrinsic detail in it. The disc shows an eye. It is the eye of the moon, a protective eye of the moon, still the eye of Horus, but the healing eye. You see?
Oh, for goodness sake, it's on the other side, you
Very
imbecile.
fine. Let's see if we can get a good shot of it.
I told you it was on the other side.
Don't you think it's a little bit ironic that you can't even see an eye? What would we do without a Beryl Whittaker fact-check moment?
See the crescent of the moon and the full moon together in the one disk to show the variations of the moon. The passage of the moon across the sky. See, it is the traveler. It is the pathfinder. He would help you as you're traveling. Up the Nile at night, you had to get your grain shipment. You know, you had to get it up to Memphis from Thebes. Waset in ancient Egypt, not Thebes is the Greek version of that. A beautiful name, but it is not Waset as it was known. And Memphis was Menufa. I love that name. It is one of the great tragedies is to have lost Menufa to the ravages of time and to the destruction of this great city, which was the New York of the ancient world. So many temples, so many gates. It was just one of the greatest losses in the ancient world, more than Alexandria. And I know some of you love Alexandria. Lady Ra, for fun. But Memphis, Menufa, was it. More than was it. It was so magnificent. And modern Cairo itself, you still see fragments of the original buildings incorporated into the modern Arabic sculptures and into the buildings themselves. Well, I don't mean modern, I mean when the Arab conquest happened. They took so much of Memphis and rebuilt it.
Memphis built Cairo,
Recut
and
it
we love Cairo.
with little regard to the carved details which were often faced inwards on buildings, and in earthquakes and subsequent destructions, these things are revealed for us to see. And I love that. Anyway, I am rambling on. We must get back to
You
the show.
think?
Now, I do not have a cold. Hey, Siri, what temperature is it now?
It's 8 degrees outside.
Still, it's going to get down to 6 tonight, they say. Okay, I will show you another couple of gods associated with the moon. This is Thoth, another god of the moon, and the crescent of the beak was his association with the moon. The passing of time, the wisdom that this god had. So wise. Also, the beak was sometimes thought to look like the scribe's writing implement, which is fair enough. The way they peck at the ground is like the scribe running his hand across the ostraca or the papyrus. It is no different. You can see it going. Yes. So that is another form of the moon god. This one doesn't have the crescent on it, but has an atif crown. And, but hang on a second, there is a little disc at the top. Now that must be the moon as well. Okay, and the other one? The baboon. The baboon of Thoth. See, Thoth could be also shown as a baboon. You can see how confusing this gets, but I will show you. This is ice horse. So dusty, it's making me sneeze. His beautiful little Thoth. This one is a very rare replica from the Cairo Museum. It is bronze as well.
On the chest of the baboon, you can see an image of the moon boat which sailed across the midnight sky. It is so beautiful to imagine the Egyptians used to think of the moon sailing across the sky, traversing the Nile. Such a beautiful ancient mindset. And this is the ass of the baboon.
It's not a genuine antiquity. It is a 1950s replica. It is wonderful.
Oh, come on, you old woman. Some people have cows to get home and milk.
And here is a modern, not so great one. It's okay. I wouldn't write home about it. I don't like resin sculptures generally, but when I'm given them as a gift, I can't tell them to take it away and bring me another lover. No, I have to accept it. And I do like this, but it's not great.
Oh, diddums.
What a miserable person I am. And you can clearly see the crescent moon resting upon his head. Again, the full disk of the moon and the crescent sitting in amongst. Not horns of Hathor. This is the crescent of the moon. Very different.
Typically, the horns of Hathor, also shared with Isis, are much higher. They are representing the cow's horns. But this statue of Hathor has the crescent moon on the top for even more greater confusion. But there is a link between this image and Khonshu because of the manat he wears as a little keepsake for the goddess of love.
You should be careful when you're looking at these different headdresses. Okay? Now, Thoth as a baboon. Why? Why have another one? 'Cause the baboons howl at the moon. They were said in writings to be on the tops of the temples at night, waiting for the moon to rise and howling at it with upraised hands in adoration of the moon's arrival. You can hear them. You know what they sound like. I don't even ask me to do it again. I don't have a cold. I really don't have a cold. Siri, what temperature is it now? Hey Siri. Hey Siri. What temperature is it now?
It's 8 degrees outside.
Ah, I just wanted to get colder so I could just freeze. Anyway, I'm not having a breakdown. I'm not. I'm just doing piece of the week. And that's all I've
Houston,
got.
we have a problem.
Happy moon landing, people. And I hope for you a good moon night.
Oh, for goodness sake, cut! Cut that right there!
Okay.
Start
This
again.
one is sauce. In another form, in the baboon style. Okay. So I hope you enjoyed this week's piece of the week. There's not much to it. It's just a bit of adoration of the moon for everybody, and to have something for you to accept in your life. Some new knowledge, perhaps. Maybe there's a little nugget of something. Plus the beautiful art itself. It's always good to see something new you have not seen. It's one of my favorite things is when I see a new artwork. And I thank you to Dr. Hart this week for showing me a group of Anubis that I will certainly want to carve in the future.
They're actually hounds and jackals, the stuff of many an Egyptian game.
Please keep sending me your ideas for things to do. I can't do everything, but I will try and do something. That's all one can do. I have more requests now than my entire life can do, because no one realizes how long these things take to make. So, but keep them coming, because what I will do is it will be by consensus. So the more of this one you want on, I will do it. Plus I have my own passion stream I must do, and I will do. So everyone will be happy, including me. To do it for you, to do it for me, and then when I'm dead, it is done. And these things will float around in people's attics for years, and then they'll be rediscovered in the future generation. I don't think there's any other way to look at it. We are only custodians of these things, and we must do a job to ensure they are preserved and protected for the future, which is why I must simply... Where is he? I will restore this thing properly, with more than just glue. I will make sure he's safe for the future. It is my job. I've restored so many antiquities and pots and broken bits of things from long, long ago, and I should start with my own collection. Yeah. So, this is really getting itchy. I've only got a beanie on underneath here, and I am cold. Good night for now, and I will stop this, and I will go to bed and hope for a better tomorrow. Thank you. Thank you for tuning in to Piece of the Week. I wonder what will be next week. Goodbye. I said goodbye.
Goodbye!